Welcome to the Awaken Mind channel. In this episode, which is part 1 of a part 3 series, we unravel the relationship between our psychological development and conscious awareness. We explore how our growth as individuals, both physical and psychological, it shapes our perception, behaviors, and our understanding of the world. So let's first define what we mean by conscious awareness. Conscious awareness is the state of being mentally present and perceptive of one's thoughts, emotions, and surroundings, allowing for self-reflection and also understanding our experiences, actions, and reactions. The more psychologically developed we are, the more conscious awareness we have. In other words, the more psychologically developed we are, the more perceptive we are to our thoughts, emotions, actions, and others and our surroundings. In the evolution of life on Earth, there has been 2 types of adaptation, physical and psychological. Physical adaptation led to our species' evolution or physical appearance as it is today, while psychological adaptation, particularly in humans, it has resulted in an expansion of consciousness and intelligence. Richard Barrett developed the 7 levels model, also known as the Barrett Model, a tool he developed in 1996 to map the consciousness of individuals, societies, and groups such as teams, organizations, communities, and even nations. To develop the model, he integrated the ancient Indian Vedantic stages of consciousness with Maslow's theory of self-actualisation. Now, there are 2 aspects to the model as seen in this video. We grow in stages of our psychological development while we operate at levels of consciousness. So levels and stages. In the early stages, we are driven by our needs for survival and security, so meeting our basic needs like having a safe physical environment or a caring environment are very critical at this age. So the 3 stages are surviving, conforming, and differentiating, which is between 0 years to 20 years. And then we come to our individuating, self-actualizing, integrating, and serving stages. And the individuating stage, we arrive there in our 20s and 30s. And then the self-actualization starts around the 40s and integration around 50s and serving from 60 years onwards according to this model. So one might reach the corresponding stage at an earliest or later stage in their lives. So in my case, I started self-actualizing in my mid-30s and started the process of integrating a year or 2 later. I'll quickly go through the first 3 stages, surviving, conforming, and differentiating. Now, in the context of this model, individuals at lower stages of our psychological development, that is the surviving stage, conforming, differentiating, they tend to be more self-centered and they're motivated, obviously, like explained before, by basic survival needs and desires in our teenage years for approval and security. So neglect or abuse at the survival stage, it can lead to subconscious beliefs of a very unsafe world. Caregiver attentiveness, it shapes the baby's perception of safety and trust. At the survival stage of development, that is at the tiny baby stage, love is experienced through the satisfaction of our physiological needs. Now, coming to the differentiating age, the rational mind takes over. We seek self-esteem and recognition. During adolescence, that is the differentiating age, teenagers, we seek recognition through physical strength. In the case of boys, we seek knowledge, we seek status, we are often influenced by our relationship with our parents or our peers. So positive parental connections, they foster self-assurance, whereas strained relationship, it can lead to seeking validation externally. So love, perceived through recognition and a sense of belonging, it shapes the stability or instability based on these encounters. Now we come to the individuating stage in our stages of psychological development, which is called transformation in the level of consciousness. We arrive in the individuating stage from our mid-20s until approximately around 39 years. So at this stage, the individuating stage, we aim for independence from our parental and our cultural influences. We strive to uncover our authentic selves. So supportive backgrounds or supportive environment, it can ease this journey for us, but many of us, we face challenges due to our past influences or maybe a very strict upbringing. So fear and unmet needs, they can hold us back and anchoring us in earlier stages of our development. Now, arriving at the self-actualization stage or internal cohesion when it comes to assessing the levels of consciousness. The self-actualization stage typically we arrive at in our 40s. At this stage, we explore our talents, we seek life's meaning, we discover a purpose. And once we do that, once we discover a purpose, it actually reignites our vitality, our creativity, and then we tend to seek to reach more fulfilling states of our consciousness. However, mastering this stage, it can be often daunting, especially if our passion or what we desire or our creativity, it offers very less financial security for us as compared to the career choices that we made in our 20s or our early 30s. But this is a very important stage, and it is also important at this stage of our development to master our survival fears. So it is also important, especially for women, not to deny our self-expression needs. Women in their 40s, they often have a partner, they have children, they have aging parents that have needs, all of who have needs. And the burden of addressing these needs, they usually fall on women, leaving women little time to focus on their own self-expression needs. So in general, whether men or women, if we deny our self-expression to take care of others, to take care of our family needs, or we deny our self-expression, our creativity, our passion, because we are afraid that we will not be able to sustain ourselves or to survive, so we will eventually become depressed. So it's very essential at this stage to find the confidence in knowing that we can meet our needs and follow our passion and express ourselves. This knowingness, this confidence, it will actually empower us and we begin to embrace self-actualization. Now we come to the integrating stage, and a stage of psychological development, and the corresponding level of consciousness is, as you can see in the graph, it's making a difference. We arrive at the integrating stage in our 50s, that is, after having found our purpose. In our 40s, we tend to now enhance other people's well-being. Collaboration at this stage becomes very crucial. We connect with those who share our mission and those who benefit from our talents. So mastering emotional and social intelligence, like feeling love, also universal love, unconditional love, and having trusting relationships, they're very vital at this stage. So here is when we shift from the previous decade from independence to interdependence, and then we thrive to work collectively for the greater good, which brings us immense fulfillment. However, some people may get absorbed in self-expression from the earlier stage, where at this stage or age they may miss the big broader impact of collaboration. So what I mean by the statement that some people may get absorbed in self-expression, especially in the 40s, it suggests that individuals who actually focus primarily on expressing their own thoughts, their ideas, and their feelings without fully understanding or appreciating the significance of working collaboratively with other people. So this might be a factor that may hinder growth and moving on to higher stages of psychological development. People in society, they remain psychologically underdeveloped despite physical maturity due to fear-based beliefs and a strict upbringing. So, for instance, these factors, they hinder progress or progression to higher stages of our psychological development and it limits our empathy and bringing in or having meaningful relationships. Now, to overcome these obstacles, it's critical that we foster self-awareness, we challenge our limiting beliefs, we inquire into where our beliefs have come from. They become very crucial. So creating a very supportive environment that encourages self-reflection, exploration, self-expression is very critical. So as we conclude today's discussion, we invite you to join us for our upcoming episode that is part 2 of this series. And in the next episode, we will delve deeper into the relationship between ego and our soul journey, using Barrett's model once again as our guiding framework. We will explore the transformation that occurs within us as we mature both physically and psychologically. So stay tuned for another insightful exploration into the depths of who we are into our being. Until then, take care and see you next time.